One of the finest actors working today, whether he's playing a geek, a dork, or even a nerd. Will you please welcome Mr. Jeff Goldblum?
That's all right.
Songs with Goldblum in.
Very clever.
Jeff Goldblum, ladies and gentlemen. Come and sit down, sir.
Very clever.
Wow. It's lovely to have you here.
Well, that's a great introduction. I either play what?
Well, you get to play... OK, I didn't mean that unkindly, but you often play... Yeah. Well, you're a weird kind of guy anyway.
Hang on.
You know what do you mean? I think if someone met you, they'd say, whoa, weirdo. And you're not really. You're a lovely man. I've met you a few times, but you have a kind of weird thing about you going on.
Do I?
Yeah, you must know you're weird.
I don't know. I guess so.
I'm not the first person.
You know, I used to resist it. I used to say, no, I'm not weird, and I guess I am weird.
Yeah, you are.
I guess I am
weird.
weird.
Celebrate your weirdness, because I think it's a great thing.
You're so nice. Thank you.
It's a great thing, but you often get typecast in those kind of roles.
Yeah, no, that's not true. So let me go back to us. So let me defend myself.
Please do.
Yeah, I guess it's true. I don't know. No, I've played all sorts of different parts. No, it's not true. Like on Criminal Intent, Law and Order, I'm doing right now for the last couple of seasons. What are you going making that face for?
I know. OK, you've proved me wrong already.
Yeah, I'm a cop. I'm a very straight kind of effective, tough cop.
With a kind of a slightly weird way of looking around.
Well, you may say weird, yeah, or unconventional, or unique, yeah, something like that.
Brilliant.
Right,
Brilliantly gifted.
I'm weird.
That's what it is.
You're so nice. So nice to see you again.
But how do you stay in such incredible shape? Because, like me, you're not a young man anymore. I mean, you're obviously older than me, but you're... But you look...
So passively hostile. So passively cruel.
You're in incredible shape. Jesus, you must really... What do? You starve yourself? You work out every day? What do you do, Goldblum?
Well, you look fantastic. Well, I'm sure you're doing something that I'm doing. But I do, you know, I'm nothing if not... disciplined. I like to move around, you know, and stay. You know, I'm vain, so I know I'm going to get photographed, so I don't want to let myself go too much. And I want to be healthy. I do want to be healthy. I love life terrifically. I just got off the plane from Los Angeles a couple of hours ago.
Well, thank you for, and you came over early to do the show, so we appreciate that.
It's a great honor for me. I'd go anywhere you wanted me to.
How about the London Eye with a drunk Gabouet? Let's do it, the three of us.
Sounds like a great idea. She's fantastic.
She's great.
Did you know she sang?
I did not know she sang.
We were there singing the whole score of The Wiz.
Wow.
I was surprising her by singing badly. I was also singing too. But she sings like a nightingale.
Oh, well now, here's something that's just leapt into my head. Now,
what?
You mentioned The Wiz, and The Wiz was a big Broadway hit, but they made a movie, not a particularly great movie, which had Michael Jackson in it.
Sidney Lumet. Well, directed it.
Yeah, Sidney Lumet directed it.
Michael Jackson is in Diana Ross, yeah.
Now, Michael Jackson, sadly, no longer with us.
That's sad.
And I remember last year when he passed away, it was a double whammy. I heard that, well, that's sad news. And then someone phoned me and said, have you heard the news? Jeff Goldblum has died. Did any of you hear this rumour last year? Happened the same day, and we told me Jeff Goldblum's died. He fell off a cliff in New Zealand, and I thought, well, that is kind of the thing. That's how he's going to go. I imagine that's because he's a weird guy. It's going to be something like that. And this was kind of bouncing around for a while before, and it was like 2 days before we found out. Now, where did that rumour start? You got any idea? And how was that for you, being told you were dead?
It was crazy. It was crazy. I was at my house in Los Angeles, and I was working on something, and my publicist called me and said, Jeff, I have some funny, crazy, awful news. You know, you're okay, first of all? And I'm glad you answered the phone. Yeah. There's a rumor going around. They've reported it. It's been on television that you died. You were in New Zealand, fell off a cliff. I said, that's crazy. Wow, I've never been to New Zealand, first of all. And then, you know, viral technology as it is now, it's got around, and people reported it, you know, legitimate people reported it. It started with one of those pranksters that you can do. They've done it with other people. But it caught on somehow, and it was all sorts of things. It was wild and trippy, but it was disturbing. You know, my mother and other people who were friendly with me, you know, there was a gap of time before they knew if it was true or not. They'd called up very upset. Luckily, nobody ran off the road or anything. You know, but some of it was sweet. People who I hadn't heard from for a while would get in touch with me. And it was trippy. I was telling your fellow, the first movie I ever remembered crying at when I was like, I don't know, I must have been 9 or something like that. I went to see a movie in Pittsburgh with my sister, Gigot. Does anybody know that movie?
Gigot.
Jackie Gleason. It was a small movie that he did, kind of a European production, I think, in France, and he plays a mute kind of simpleton of the village, and nobody likes him, and he kicks her. And then they think he's died, and they hold a funeral for him, but he hasn't died, and nobody knows that. And he pops up behind a tree and witnesses his own funeral and how much everybody, in fact, cares for him. And he starts crying, and I was there 9 years old, and that's the first time I ever remember getting very weepy. So it's a touching and trippy thing.
So were you tempted then not to come out from behind the bush and let him enjoy the state
Fake your death, gee,
yeah.
you know, there are people who do that. Isn't that crazy?
But what a thing it must be to have heard some of the tributes. It must have been in many ways a lovely thing. Were you disappointed by some of the things people said, or were you...
People were, no, it was fine. It was trippy. I went on the Stephen Colbert show. They wrote something, and we did a little.
Well, we have a clip. I don't know if you saw this. This is an Australian news show reporting your death here.
Yeah.
And they're obviously a bit out of sorts. They're not quite sure what to make of it, or whether it's true or not. But they think it's been substantiated by New Zealand police.
Right. That's right.
And that can't be hard to find out because there's only about 3 police in New Zealand. So you just call all of them.
I mean, it does beg the question. It does say, you know, the media and of course gossipers, you know, should be careful.
Okay.
Check your sources and don't spread things around unsubstantiated.
This is not going to upset you seeing your death being reported again.
It may. I'm very sensitive.
If you start crying, I'm here for you.
Bless you.
This is the Today Show on Australian TV.
Do we have any more on this breaking news of Jeff Goldblum in New Zealand falling to his death?
Look, all I have is in front of me a report saying that New Zealand police are saying that Jeff Goldblum fell from a cliff to his death while filming in New Zealand. I'm not sure where. I haven't had a chance actually to check it out, but reports this morning that Hollywood actor and all-round nice guy, everyone who comes in contact with Jeff Goldblum always said what a good bloke he was.
Some of the movies he's been in, Jurassic Park,
yeah,
The Fly, The Big Chill.
Yeah, and lots more. He's a very prolific worker and was shooting a movie in New Zealand. I'm not even sure what he was doing there. There's plenty to get our heads around this morning, but that would be an absolute tragedy if Jeff Goldblum had also passed away today, although New Zealand police are saying that that is a correct story. So we're waiting for confirmation on a couple of fronts this morning.
OK, we're also waiting...
Great actor, Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. He was married to Gina Davis at one stage.
Yeah.
I don't think they had children together. She had her children with her next husband, but, end of an era on a whole lot of fronts.
That's strange.
What can you say?
Well, he was taken from us too young, ladies and gentlemen, but thankfully he was given back. So that's a weird thing.
Well, it's nice being around, but we all go sometime. It's all fleeting. I know, I don't mean to bring you down. Well, it's all fleeting and tragic. But the issue of this play that I'm doing, this Prisoner of Second Avenue...
Hold on, that was the most effective use of a near-death experience I've ever seen in my life, because no one can take this away from you now, because a minute ago we were crying you weren't with us. Now, please do plug your play. This sounds good. This is a Neil Simon thing, though, isn't it?
Neil Simon.
Ah, good Lord.
Brilliant,
One
brilliant.
of the greats.
You're one of the greatest.
Oh, yeah. He's still alive, isn't he?
Yes, he is still alive.
I heard he fell off a cliff, but that was...
not true. He'll be... he's pals with Kevin Spacey, who's producing it.
He does that, yeah.
And so he'll be around, I hear tell, and to talk about it. I've been reading his autobiography. He's got 2 autobiographies. But he's hilarious. This play is a masterwork, I believe, and hilarious and funny and profound, I think. It has to do... That's why it's not just a plug. I'm telling you, it has to do with the same issues whereby somebody goes through a crisis of loss, where a very funny, hilarious crisis of loss, where nothing is working and he can't stand, it's too cold, whatever is happening is no good for him.
So he's angry about everything.
He's angry about everything. He's fighting with his neighbors, but he says something is wrong. It's not just my usual, he's very uptight and he's scared about things. He feels he may lose his job, and we're going through, it's 1971, we're going through something of what's happening now, a cycle of recession.
That was a big recession there.
And in fact, later on in the story, he gets fired along with everybody else, and then his apartment gets robbed, so everything goes, and he's...
This is a comedy, you were saying?
It's hilarious. It's hilarious because it's a love story, because Mercedes Rule, the great Mercedes Rule, plays my wife, longtime wife in it, and Terry Johnson is directing it, by the way, who's British and did La Cage aux Folles, which I saw recently on Broadway.
Fabulous, yeah.
Fabulous. So he finally realizes when he starts, shall we say, disidentifying with the things, the stuff of his world, well, he says, you know, we've got to downsize. I'm not getting any money in. Not only do we have to downsize, but why do we have all this stuff anyway? Why this just unconscious consumerism? and he has, a light goes on, and he says, let's get rid of it. And anyway, who am I? And anyway, why was I working all that time anyway? What's the point of working, and what's the point of life, and who am I? It's all hilarious, and then he kind of goes off on some, what sounds like to his wife, a crazy riff whereby he says, you know, this story of mine is all part of a cosmic plan that everybody is sharing in together. It's everybody's destiny, in a way, to be here and to lose to wrongly, ignorantly identify themselves with my job, with my relationship, with my body, all of which is going to go, and when they realize it, discover there's something more expansive than that. That's the universal plan. And I start going off on that. She thinks I'm crazy, but it is in fact a kind of a transformational moment of excitement and a finally love story, because she catches up with me and we wind up together at the end. Yes, you. You can see I'm on fire about this play. I'm very excited about doing this play. And we haven't even started rehearsing. We start rehearsing Monday.
I was trying to interrupt because now we don't have to go to see it. You've told us every... But it sounds like this is going to be... You're obviously on fire with enthusiasm for this.
I am.
The play is called Prisoner...
Prisoner of Second Avenue. Okay. Prisoner of Second Avenue. We do it at the... It opens at the Vaudeville Theater. This is the first time. By the way, the Old Vic Theater...
Which is where you were doing Speed the Plow.
Which is where we did Speed the Plow with Kevin Spacey. He's the artistic director of that
the
thing.
Old Vic, yeah.
And it's been a dream of his to have the Old Vic produce something for the West End. And in the long, glorious history of the Old Vic, it's the first time it's happened, and it's happening now.
Okay, I'm going to tell you about some Jeff Goldblum films you might not know about, because he is an incredible actor. And, you know, we've seen him in big blockbusters, and he's always terrific in them. You know, in Independence Day, you're great. In Jurassic Park, you're great. But here's the one I'm deeply in love with. What a performance. Deep Cover. You ever heard of this film, Deep Cover?
No, they haven't seen it. But it has a very small and devoted following. Yeah, I like that movie. With
Written
Lawrence.
by Michael Tolkien, I believe, who wrote The Player.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
And then rewritten by Henry Bean. He did some additional work on the script. Henry Bean, who then did...
And then watched by me.
Nice. Nice. Lawrence Fishburne was in
Well, we have a clip of that. I'm going to show a clip of this. Look at this. This is, it's a really powerful and at times quite gruesome, at times gripping thing. Have a look at this. This is one of my, I think it's one of my all-time favourite films.
You're so sweet. Let me see.
It's incredible film. Deep Cover. Look at this. Let's see. Do you watch your old movies? Do you look back at yourself? Do you enjoy watching your performances?
No, I was just saying. I mean, no, I don't. I don't not enjoy it, but no, I don't. I don't watch it, and even if it comes on the TV, I flick by it mostly.
Okay, the last time Jeff came on, and look, you can see we have a chemistry, we have a friendship here. And I said to Jeff, you're in the UK for a while now. What are you doing? Why don't you hang out? Do you want to go do something? Why don't we go explore something? Maybe go and see the Loch Ness Monster? And you just said, without even thinking about it, no. Is what you said. Yeah, you just said no like that. And there's the picture of Loch Ness. That's what you're missing. You would have seen that with me. I have some other itinerary. I have an itinerary. I've worked out an itinerary for you.
Nice.
Because how long are you here for doing the play?
For us to do together? Because I'd love to do something with you.
Because what do you do on a play day? Because you're not on... You have one day when you have a matinee, I guess. Is that Saturday? There's the matinee?
I got to get the schedule, but I don't know. I don't
Normally.
I'm not telling you. I mean, it opens on... We start previewing June 30th, and then we open on July 13th, and we run all the way till September 10th. But I don't know the exact weekly schedule. Okay. But I bet a couple of those days, Wednesday or Saturday, I'll bet we have 2 shows.
You have one of those days, you have 2 shows, but then one day you have no show.
Right.
Okay, so on that day, what do you normally do? What were you doing last time that was so important that you couldn't come with me to see Loch Ness Monster? What did you do with yourself?
I was foolish. Let's get together. We'll get together on
You have not answered the question. You didn't tell what you do with this whole day, this yawning expanse of time. You're a single man alone in an exciting big city. What are you doing? Sitting in a hotel and watching yourself on pay-per-view? What are you doing, Goldblum?
Oh, you know, I get up to trouble, but I play piano. I like to catch up on my piano playing.
Well, I've got a piano. I can't play it. Come around and play my piano.
I will. I'll come over and play your piano. What else are we going to do?
There's a pencil museum I've never visited in Cumberland.
I'll go. I like pencils.
Yeah.
I like pencils. If I have a writing implement of choice, it's a yellow pencil. You know what I did here? I'll tell you a funny story. It's not funny. Maybe it's interesting, or maybe not even interesting. When
Okay, don't build it up too much.
Okay. When I was in 3rd grade, maybe you've had this experience. When I was like in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, we had those desks that opened like this, yes. And we had we're given a pencil like once a month, a new pencil. I loved the pencil, and I thought, oh, I'm going to run out of the pencil somehow. And, you know, you'd have it a little bit, and then you'd get the next one. So I thought, oh, 2 pencils, and I got a big one and a little one. That wasn't good enough for me. I really just lusted after these pencils. And so I would stop when we had, like, a fire drill. I would station myself at the end of the line and like, when everybody was out, go around to other people's desks and steal their their extra pencils, one so they didn't miss one, and by month 7 or 8, somebody happened to see me open my thing and said, oh my gosh, teacher, Jeffrey has 30 pencils in the thing. And they said, Jeffrey, how'd you get that? Anybody who's missing a pencil, and they were, oh my God, there's a kleptomaniac amongst us, and they all got a pencil. It was humiliating, and I think I stopped that, but how about that? What kind of syndrome was that? I was a little bit crazy, wasn't I? Why did I want those pencils?
Jeffrey, I think we're making good progress. Same time next week, please.
Yes, sir.
We'll deal with this issue
I
then.
like these sessions.
Great to see you. Hey, if it has Jeff Goldblum in it, I want to see it anyway. But if it's written by Neil Simon and it has Mercedes Ruehl in it, that's going to be what a triumph.
I'd go see it myself. If I wasn't in it, I'd be there every night.
Every night?
Once.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fantastic Mr. Jeff Goldblum.
You're so nice.
I'm going to come into it and make you come and play piano.
Come on.
Jeff Goldblum, ladies and gentlemen.